Hello, my name is Hans George Campbell, and welcome to part 3 of my Commodore A2286 Bridgeboard series of videos. Tonight I thought I'd show you the graphics card and sound card that I will be using with my 286 Bridgeboard. Okay, first up, we have this Paradise VGA 1024 card. This was one of the best graphics cards that you could buy during the Intel 286 time period. It's a perfect card for a lot of the games and stuff and software, you know, from that time period. But this is the front of the box. These cards, these old ESA graphics cards, they're very hard to find today, especially new in the original box like this. And they command a premium price tag. I paid, I think, almost $200 for this card on eBay. Yes, you heard me right. About 200 bucks for this card. But it is new and it is a nice card. It is, like I said, one of the best cards from the 286 time period. There's the back of the box, you know. And so I guess this part of the video is going to be like, what, an unboxing? Paradise. Yeah, the box is in not that good a shape, but that's okay. That's okay, man. So, let's... Okay, still don't need the camera? Yeah, still don't need the camera. Well, I put it in the Ziploc bag. I'll take everything out of the Ziploc bag and show you in a moment. And there's the actual graphics card itself. I will show that in a moment. Okay. Alright, so let's take a look at this graphics card. Ooh, look at that. Alright, is that baby nice or what? Let me zoom in. Whoa! That is a nice card. Very nice card. 16-bit ESA graphics card. One of the best graphics cards that you could get during the 286 time period. Yeah. And if I remember correctly, it's got the latest firmware. If I remember correctly, because I asked the seller if it had the latest firmware, and he said yes. He bought it when it was brand new. But yeah. And it's fully loaded. Okay, it comes with, I believe, 256K of RAM soldered on. And then this extra 256K of RAM here was added at the factory. So it has the full 512K of memory from the factory. And that was a lot of memory back then. Okay, that was a lot of memory. This card supports both EGA and VGA modes. And yes, EGA and VGA. And right there is your switches. You can set this card for what mode you want it in. I'm going to take some WD-40 and spray it on a rag. And I'll take this off because these, I can unscrew these. And I'll wipe this metal down with a rag that I have a little bit of WD-40 sprayed on. And it conditions the metal. It'll make this like brand new again. And then I'll take a clean, dry cotton cloth and I'll wipe it down because I don't want to have it all, you know, all kind of, I don't want to have WD-40 all on it. So I just use the WD-40 to condition the metal. And I'll use a dry cloth to buff it up, make it look really nice. But yeah, just look at that. It's a beautiful card. Absolutely gorgeous card. And I think it has a date code of the, what is that, 26th week of 1990, I think is the date code on this card. But yeah, I just love this card. It's a beautiful card. Anyway, when I come back after my quick coffee break, I'll show you the rest of the stuff that was in the box. Okay, this is the rest of the stuff that was in that box. We have the Paradise VGA 1024 card, the main manual for the hardware, and we'll take a look at that in more detail in a moment. We have the Paradise VGA 1024 card software manual. Okay. We have the quick install guide for the Paradise VGA 1024 card. And we have, of course, the business reply card and the 2 driver discs. The driver discs for this old hardware, that's becoming increasingly hard to find. So what I will do, I plan on making a backup copy of this hardware. I mean this software right here. And I'll have it in a zip file for, you know, any of you guys that have one of these boards and you need this software, just let me know in the comments and I'll make you a copy of it. Well, I'll just let me know your email. You know, you get in contact with me through my email, and I'll attach a zipped copy of this software to my reply email so that you'll have the software. Okay, so we'll take a look at all this stuff a little bit closer. We'll actually zoom in. Okay. We will zoom in. Alright. So, let me zoom in a little bit. And we'll take a look at this manual. Alright, I want to make sure that, well, yeah, that's good right there, I'm thinking. Don't want to go overboard. You can tell how old this card is because it says for IBM PC XT, which is 8088 processor, and AT, which is 286 processor, and compatible computers, and IBM Personal System 2 models 25 and 30. Monitor and software compatibility. So this card supports Hercules graphics, MDA, CGA, EGA, MCGA, and VGA. It does, okay, 256 color graphics at a resolution of 640 by 480, which was a lot back then during the 286 time period. Okay, 800 by 600 graphics, or resolution, with 16 colors. And 1024 by 768, resolution, with 16, 4, and 2 colors. Okay, then you have 132 column text modes, 132 columns by 25 and 43 lines. So this is a really strong card for back then. Very strong card for 1990. And then there's all your different, your different resolutions right there. I don't know if you can read that or not. But yeah, this is a pretty cool card. But I need a board like this in order to show you a lot of the software that you can actually run on your 286 Bridgeboard. Because a lot of people today, they don't think that the 286 Bridgeboard is no longer a viable option, and it is. You're wrong. You'd be surprised how much great software you can run on the Commodore 286 Bridgeboard, especially if you have a graphics card like this. And this shows you your jumper settings. Now, what's funny about this manual is that this manual talks about setting up the graphics card for the GEM desktop. Which I am going to show you guys. I'm going to show you the pre-Apple lawsuit version of the GEM desktop. So stay tuned for that exciting, content. Now, I don't know if it's just repeating itself or what. In different languages, it appears to still be English. This is a very detailed manual. I mean, look at this. Wow. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Appendix A, 2 monitor systems and systems with built-in video. Okay. And that's the pinout right there to the card. And this is the video signals right here. Okay, well, when I come back, I will show you the software manual and the quick reference card. Okay, here's the Paradise VGA 1024 card, the software manual. We'll thumb through it. I think this is the manual that actually mentions the GEM desktop. Yeah, it mentions AutoCAD, Ventura Publisher. The first piece of software it mentions is Windows and the GEM desktop. But I think by the time this card was released, we were already up to Gem 3. I think this was after this was after the Apple sued Digital Research, because now they're talking about Gem version 2.1 and 2.2, which I also have. Gem version 1.0 to 1. I think it's 1.8 or 9. Those are all the pre-Apple lawsuit versions. So by the time you get up to Gem version 2 and 3, well, all the cool features that made the Gem desktop such a nice graphics user interface was already stripped out, you know. But I'm still going to show you the Gem desktop because I think it's really, really nice. I don't know if you can read any of this or not, but I still want to show the manuals because this is from 1990. This was like one of the best graphics cards you could get back in 1990 during the 286 time period, you know. And this was the software that was popular back then, like AutoCAD, you know. See? Ventura Publisher. CADvance, I don't know what that is. Never heard of that program. Framework 2. WordStar. I'm sure some of you old-timers out there, old office workers, you'll know what this software is. Running WordStar 3.3. Okay. Generic CAD. I actually remember that CAD. And of course Lotus 123 and Symphony, VersaCAD Design. Yeah, those were the popular programs back then, 1990. VGA and Extended VGA Programming, Advanced Tips. Okay, there's that manual. Now we'll show the quick install guide, boys and girls, after I come back from a real quick coffee break. Okay? We'll be back shortly. Okay. Here is the quick install guide for the Paradise VGA 1024 card. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. I don't know, that's about as zoomed in as I can get it actually. Let me try a little bit more. Yeah, about as zoomed in as I can get it. There's not that many pages to this manual, and I think half of it's English and the other half is another language. Yeah, it's a different language. Okay. Of course, we got the business reply card. Business reply card. Hey, I gotta show everything. Okay? Gotta show everything from this old classic hardware. And last but not least, we have the actual discs for the Paradise VGA card. The actual discs. Yeah. So if any of you need copies of these two discs here, just let me know in the comments, or you can email me directly. My email address is in the About Me page of this channel. So if you need copies of these discs, just let me know, and I'll attach a copy to my return email. Alright, so next, when I come back, I'm going to show you the sound card that I will be using with my Bridgeboard. Alright, this is the Sound Blaster card that I will be using with my Commodore A2286 Bridgeboard. This is a full Sound Blaster 16 sound card. This is not the Sound Blaster 16 Vibra crap or a stripped down version of the Sound Blaster 16. This is the full version of that card. And it is a 16-bit ESA card. And these cards, these older Sound Blaster cards like this, are getting very hard to find today. And to give you an idea of how much they're going for on eBay, any of the 8-bit ESA Sound Blaster cards are averaging between $200 and $300 each. That's per board. Oh yeah, you heard me right. And the Sound Blaster AWE32, the 3900 series, they're averaging also between $150 to $250, sometimes going as high as $300, depending on their condition and if they include their box or not. Sound Blaster 16s like this, the full-blown version, they're going for around $100 or more. Oh yeah, these old 8-bit and 16-bit ESA slot Sound Blaster cards, they're going for a lot of money. They're highly desirable because not only are they used with the Bridgeboard, okay, but they're also used with legacy PCs like Socket 7, Super Socket 7, Slot 1, Pentium 2, Pentium 3 legacy PCs. These types of sound cards here, they're highly sought after. And this one here, the thing I do like about it, it's got an onboard amplifier. You have to be careful with the earlier sound cards like this, because on these sound cards, if I remember correctly, I think that's your amplifier chip right there. One of these is speaker out and one of them is line out. You cannot get those confused. Speaker out is exactly what it sounds like. You hook up a pair of speakers to that. That's coming directly from the sound card's onboard amplifier. Okay, and line out is what you hook up to like amplified speakers or an integrated amplifier where you have a nice pair of speakers plugged into the amplifier. Okay, don't ever plug in speaker out into a pair of amplified speakers or an integrated amplifier, because you will blow up that amplifier. You will burn it up. Okay, you got to be very careful with these early Sound Blasters or any of these earlier sound cards that have an onboard amplifier. Make sure that speaker out, you only hook up speakers. Line out is what you want to hook up to an amplified set of speakers or an integrated amplifier. Okay, so be very careful with that. Of course, this here is your classic game port, and I will be showing a lot of the older joysticks when I do my joystick collection video. I think that's going to be in part 2, where I show my Macintosh and classic PC joysticks. But yeah, that's the joystick. This is also where you hook up your MIDI, because a lot of your older games will play a MIDI keyboard, and I will also show that. I'll actually show that. Okay, so yeah, this is your onboard amplifier right here, this section right here, and I believe there is a jumper that allows you to disable this amplifier. Okay, these are your CD, I think this is CD in right here, so that's where you hook up the audio cable coming from your CD-ROM drive, you know, so you can, because a lot of your games also, instead of playing MIDI music, they'll also play audio tracks directly from the CD. A good example of that would be like the game Blood. Blood has MIDI tracks, but it also has beautiful, you know, audio music coming directly from the CD. Another good example would be Shadow Warrior. Shadow Warrior also has beautiful audio music coming from the CD-ROM. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure that you hook the audio cable coming from your CD-ROM drive to this CD input right here. This right here, this is for hooking up a CD-ROM drive only. It's not for hard drive. It's for CD-ROM drive only. And I believe a lot of these, there's only certain CD-ROM drives, you know, name brand CD-ROM drives that you could use. So you have to read the manual that comes with the board, and it should also tell you on the silk screen, you know, what CD-ROM drive that this interface is designed for. Okay. Yeah, this is your, I think, onboard memory, because your sound card has to have memory. This is the main chip, and this is a header to hook up a MIDI module. A MIDI module is what would plug into there. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you this Sound Blaster 16 card that I will be using with my 286 Bridgeboard. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, bring these cards back out, and I'll zoom out a little bit, because this would probably make for a good, like a background, you know, for your PC, you know. I think it'd make a pretty good background. Just take like a screen snapshot of these two classic boards here. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for part 4 in this series, which will be coming up soon. And in part 4, I'm going to be showing you the two versions of DOS in their original packaging and boxes and all that, original discs. I'll be showing you the two versions of DOS that I will be using with my Bridgeboard. And these are the two versions of DOS that I recommend that you also use if you have a Commodore 286 Bridgeboard. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you have not subscribed yet, maybe you should. Anyway, my name is Hans George Campbell, and until next time.